Hello, welcome to Exploring with Larry. Funny Halloween story with Larry. That's right, funny Halloween story. Today I've got a oldie but a goodie. Today's Halloween story comes from, say, maybe 1990, maybe 1989, back in the old days. When I was just a wee teenager. That's right, young'uns. Get ready for an old-time scary story with your old buddy Larry. Actually, I'm not that old. Okay. Well, anywho, I was at my grandma's house, being a good grandson, hanging out with grandma and grandpa. Carved the jack-o'-lantern, put a couple candles in it, set it in the window like normal. I set a small one outside with one candle in it. You know, to let the kids know, hey, it's cool to come, you know, it's one of those things. Didn't put out a lot of decorations. My grandma really didn't believe in all that. She thought she believed in a real simple Halloween. Pass out some candy and, answer the door and just show the neighborhood kids, good time, give them some candy, whatever. I'm rambling on. It's in the middle of the night, so I've had a little bit of coffee. That's what's wrong with me right now. Okay, so the first kind of funny story is around that time, I think it was 1990, I decided to dress all in camouflage, an old BDU outfit that I had around for hunting, fishing, so on, I'd just use it up in the woods, get dirty and messy with it and not worry about it. So I put that uniform on. Oh, it's kind of ripped, kind of messed up. Then I put on a World War I gas mask. And I'm waiting near the edge of the door. The door is just slightly shut in front of me. And I'm looking through the peephole to see what kind of trick-or-treaters I'm having, to see if I should spring out on them and, make a loud screaming sound or, grab at them or whatever, just kind of scare them, give them a little shock. Because it's Halloween. Have a little fun. Well, I looked out there and I saw a little girl in what looked like an Air Force uniform. Perfect. So I whipped the door open and I made this loud growl. And I reached both of my hands out like a freaking psycho. And she stood there, looked up. Her eyes rolled in the back of her head, kind of like mine are now. And then she peed her pants while staring at me. The poor girl was so embarrassed. I felt really bad for her at the time. I made sure I gave her a huge handful of candy. And then I grabbed the water hose and washed off the porch and waited for my next victim. Back in the old days, Halloween, gotta love it. But I'll tell you actually a more kind-hearted story about Halloween. I think it was the year after, or maybe the year before this. I was at my grandma's house doing kind of the same thing, carving up the pumpkins, helping my grandma put the pumpkin seeds in the oven so we'd have a nice snack later. My grandma was very much into cooking pumpkin seeds and the pumpkin itself, slice it up into squares, put it in the oven, put a little cinnamon, butter, and some stuff on it, and cook it kind of like you do a squash. It's very good. Give it a try. You'll like it. Well, that year I was passing out candy, lots of kids, lots of candy. A big bunch of kids coming through, Lots of happy little smiles, lots of little demons and princesses and everything you could imagine coming at the door. Then this one kid comes up to the door, not dressed in an outfit, and he says, "Trick or treat." I'm like, "Okay, here you go, buddy." And I go to hand him a handful of candy because I don't really care if you wear an outfit or a costume for Halloween. As long as you're out there doing your thing, hey, that's what it is. And the kid looks at me and says, "I hate to ask you, but I don't want any candy. Do you have any canned food? Because my family's hungry." And I looked at him like, give me a minute. Let me go ask. So I ran into the house after locking the door behind me. And I asked my grandma real quick, "Hey, Grandma, there's this little boy out there. He doesn't want any candy, but he asked for some canned food because his family's hungry." And that sent my grandma on a mission. She told me to run to the door and tell the little boy to give us a couple minutes. And he stood on the porch patiently while me and my grandmother raided the cupboards. We went in the back room of her, where she kept all of her canned food and all the, different dry foods and stuff. My grandma must have given 50 cans of all kinds of different food and spaghetti and all kinds of things. Went back up. The little kid could not believe that we filled up his little wagon. Had an old rusty radio flyer wagon. And I made sure he left with a little bag of candy too. God. Sometimes life is hard, So I guess the moral of this story is if someone comes along asking you for a can of canned food because they seem to be hungry instead of wanting candy, try to do your best. Try to throw them a couple cans of food because you never know. It could be you one day. I hope not, but it could be you one day. It must have been a dark day for those parents to send their little boy out with his wagon to ask for donations of canned food. This was a really hard day and he did it on his own. I just hope that little kid grew up to be a respectful young man. That had to be over 20 years ago now. I know it was over 20 years ago. It makes me wonder if we changed him at all on that Halloween. Let him, know that people do care. These days, it seems like not a lot of people care, but, it is what it is. But that little kid, he left with enough food to feed his family for a while. Made my grandma feel good, and it, I actually helped someone, helped a family in a time of need. Unfortunately, I think this Halloween I'm going to be working. So I'm not going to be able to pass out candy or any of that. Where I've been working lately, no kids, no nothing. So, I can't even, do it from where I am. Well, I hope you enjoyed my Halloween story. Try to keep it light, try to keep it, nice and pleasant. I'm sure in the near future here, I'll come up with some more interesting Halloween stories. I've got lots of them. I love Halloween. I'm one of those weird neighbors that you're like, damn, did he put up that much stuff? Did he really make a noose and hang that, skeleton guy in the tree again? You know, things of that nature. You know? Yep. I'm that guy, the guy that would set up a graveyard, put out ghouls and things. Yeah, ghouls and things. And make up dummies with 2x4 bodies, and some of my old clothes I'd staple, some of my old clothes to it. Make like a big scarecrow kind of thing, but a Halloween scarecrow kind of thing. Where if you walked up to it, you wouldn't know if it was someone or not, till you realize it's not moving and it's just kind of standing there looking. If only I had an extra security uniform, I'd do that just to relieve me. Put him outside standing there watching. No one would ever know. Just kidding. I would never do that. Well, thanks for watching Larry's Funny Halloween Stories. Hopefully I'll have something new for you soon. Hopefully I'll be able to get Halloween off. I don't know. Think I'm going to be working. But I'll definitely make a Halloween video. Whether I'm working or not. I always have that Halloween spirit. Because Halloween just, it's the one time of the year where you can put $20 together, buy like $15 worth of candy, $5 worth of cheesy yard decorations. You can make a heck of a lot of kids happy. That's right. You can't do that for Christmas. No. Heck, these days you can't make one kid happy with $15. Let alone an entire neighborhood of kids. That's the joy of Halloween, I guess, The ability to dress up unlike you normally do and pass out candy, receive candy. Get into mischief, if you're a kid or a teenager. Why not? It's Halloween. Put a couple extra eggs in your pocket. Whatever. Whatever you do is you. Just don't get into too much trouble. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching Exploring with Larry. Funny Halloween story. Have a great day. Bye.